Tonight's show, we're talking about divine downloads, and I'm answering all your questions with live readings coming up right now.
Does it look like a Devin or David?
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table. No, you still like there's some in your end table that you do this too.
My God, we're crazy.
Yeah.
You might be hard on your right knee when you're running. Make sure you're not too hard on the right knee.
100%.
Okay.
Honey, I'm a runway walker. Okay.
I don't know what she's showing me flowers. Like, relay them or redo them. These purple flowers.
Oh my God, Scott, the flowers are right there. My orchids are purple. They completely are dead.
Yeah.
Did you even know? You nailed
100%.
everything, every single thing. Listen, everyone, this guy.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
Who doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Camera's psychic who first questioned Brooke's cancer.
Scott Cruz.
Oh, there you
it's last
You
name.
You better question yourself. We're here to bring enlightenment, not confusion.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here? The solution for me is awakening people to the bull.
I agree.
People need to stop being deterred by nonsense. You gotta summon the people. I don't just come on here and talk or parrot. I'm living it.
In harmony with nature, in a mystical adventure, we're building on a culture.
Happy Thursday Night Live, everybody. Welcome to the cruisiverse. How are you all doing? Now that we're out of the eclipse energy, but we're in still an Aries season. So y'all feeling passionate, y'all feeling fiery, y'all feeling spicy. Of course, I'm always spicy. I'm Puerto Rican Italian. How can I not be spicy? It's part of my nature. So if you don't see me spicy, you might want to check my pulse, make sure everything's going okay. Scott, what's wrong? You okay? So, and this morning on Leading Out Loud, we talked about food and kind of, being health conscious. And of course, part of to fuel that fire within us, we do have to be aligned with what we're putting in our bodies and how we're fueling our systems. Because believe it or not, that also can affect our cognitive functionalities too. And if our cognitive functionalities are down, then it also can minimize our receptivity to spirit, which can actually prevent you from getting those divine downloads, which is our topic today. We're talking about divine downloads. What does that mean? And how do we access these divine downloads? And once we get them, what do we do with them? And what are they? We'll get into that tonight with the topic. And so let's see who's chatty Cathy in the room, shall we? First, you have David Cruz, my mom, my father, and Jennifer Cruz, my mother. Welcome aboard in the room. My first ones in the room. I love it. Amo Ford, good to see you. Wonderful Mod Nina is in the room. So those of you who don't know, if you want to get a question in tonight, it is $15 for a card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions, $40 for a live video with moi. The PayPal and Venmo links are in the description below. And if you want a live video, you can only do it through Venmo because that's the only platform I can actually respond back to your transaction and give you the link to chime in, and get them in now because first come first serve, and so we want to make sure that we're not going too long with it. So just get them in now before I cut them off. And again, wonderful Mod Nina will be here to assist. If you have any questions about doing so, she will guide you accordingly. Kristen Villarreal, good to see you. Kristen says here, just kind of chime in, see what you guys are saying. I came in towards the end of last week, but I'm here early today. That's great. Yes. Welcome aboard. Need my Scotty this week. There's no one like him. Scotty, you make my heart happy. Oh, you're so sweet, my love. Thank you so much for that. And good, you'll be able to get the collective read today, this time around. Because a lot of people come in when I'm doing the live readings, they miss the whole collective read and the topic and all that great stuff. So you'll get to enjoy the participation in that. Caroline Catton, good to see you. Darby Mayberry, yeah, we stumbled upon it. Good to see you. Iggy, can't you see? And he says, we can come alive at midnight. We can summon the powers. We can keep creeping around until the night. We'll keep creeping around until the night. That is a lyric to my song Crazy, and I actually will play that at the end of this live. I'll play the video being that Iggy's bringing it up. Love Iggy brings in the Scott Cruz lyrical content. I love it. It's awesome, dude. Always good to see you, Iggy. We got to have you back on too to talk about the astrology stuff. So let's chit chat about that, shall we? Colette Love, good to see you. Chami Garasi, hello, happy Thursday. Good to see you, dude. It's been a long time, brother, since we've seen you, but every time you come in, welcome aboard. Great to have you. Daryl Blankenship, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, too. I mean, we missed each other. I have been hectic and crazy with the move, so I'm sorry I missed you this week, and I had so much going on. I forgot it was even this week, actually. I still think it's last week. But good to see you, brother. Let's connect. June, good to see you. James Porterfield was good. Welcome aboard. Linda Jane, good to see you. Sydney Aaron, I'm just going to kind of go down the list real quickly. Lisa Cruz, my sister from the same Mista. Christina Noel Carter, good to see you. Who am I missing here? Sydney Aaron, I said that too, of course. And Rocky Wistanovic, good to see you as well. Rhonda, Ron G, hello. I'll just keep going down. Ash, Horse Trigger Hope, what's good? Let's see the questions. Good question, actually. When are things supposed to calm down? Trying to get a horse ready for sale because someone won't move out. Movement in May. Just been saying it for 2 years. Every time I've been predicting things for people in 2024 and 2023, I've been seeing the consistency predictions of things moving in May of 2025. So that's where you see movement. It could happen before that. It could happen, even mid-April. So, but I would say, movement in May. All right. Rebecca Walls, good to see you. Leanne P, hello. Cecilia, Siciliana Frodite, finally catching live. Great, you get the collective read in. BL, good to see you. And those of you watching, I can't see. Welcome aboard. I can only see who's chatting in the room, so you have your privacy. Thank God. And let's start with the collective read. And those who are maybe new and just catching me maybe after the live and you don't know who the freak this guy is, well, I do start with the collective read and I use the lies tarot and my oracle cards to guide me. I'm a psychic medium. I don't need the cards, but they're good as a kind of template to say, hey, look here, talk about this. So, and then we'll start with the topic, divine downloads, and we'll get into live readings and we'll call it a night. We do have a new message from Nina because she's feeling a little better today, which is great. And we have a brand new sound bath from Lafayette. So that's good too. And then we also, again, I will play my song Crazy, thanks to Iggy, the music video for that at the end of the show. Let me fix something here because there's some weird, look at that. How's this? I'm going to do this so I do my collective read. I'm coming through another dimension. Okay, let's just fix this. I actually like that look. It's a good look, isn't it? It kind of looks like Christ. This is like those people that think they see Christ in a cracker. They see this like, oh, there's Jesus Christ in a cracker. Like, it's Yeshua. He's trying to say it's Yeshua. Call me that Yeshua. I was trying to adjust the fade levels for the green screen because I notice my arm is like going weird, crazy. But shuffling the cards. Christ on a cracker or cruise on a cracker? You could definitely be the caller on that one. Cruise on a cracker. All right, we're shuffling these cards. I want to see what's kind of maybe for the week. Like I said before, week to week things are always kind of rather consistent. So I'll just also see if the message is something rather, I would say, more broad than that. But we'll see what the cards have to say, what Spirit wants God and God in that. Just give me a couple of seconds as I just shuffle these cards. And okay. All right. Ooh. Okie dokie. Okay. And let's pull some oracles. Okay. All right. Yes, Iggy is silly. Cosmic Charlie, good to see you. All right, let's do these oracles and then we'll get into this. Tune in. The path. Boundaries. Okay, of course. Okay. A couple seconds. Tune in. All right. Okay. I just want to say one thing. Your happiness is your happiness, not anybody else's happiness. What makes you happy, what brings you pleasure in life is yours and only yours. No one has to co-sign on that. No one has to validate whether or not you should or should not be doing the things that make you happy. That happiness comes from your soul, and that's it. No one has to understand that. Do not let anybody else trample on or rob you of your own happiness. Because a lot of times what we are allowing people to do in our lives is to place expectations on us. What, again, the expectations be the things that make them happy, make them feel better, or the expectations of the fact of we just have to show up for them and not show up for ourselves. See, that's allowing others to trample upon our happiness. That's allowing others to trample upon our own goal and missions simply because what they may or may not feel. And then we tend to feel guilty because we're not allowing them to feel how they need to feel. Like, we're not responsible for their feelings. Nor are they responsible for our feelings. It works the same way. So you have to look at things in your life that you want to be exploring and diving in on, and things that you are really passionate about. And please make sure that you do not need a cosigner on those things. You don't need validation. You don't need people to understand or get it. I mean, we look at a lot of musicians in our day and age who had music, and just like certain people just didn't get it, and like, oh, they won't last, they won't be successful, and yet then they become very successful because there's a larger audience that gets it, understands their craft and their voice and their expressions. You see, if we constantly relied on people who didn't approve of what we thought was good for us, or constantly relied on people's expectations, what is good or bad for us, we would never get ahead. We'll never get to the places we want to be. We'll hold ourselves back. So we got to be the dictators of our happiness. Like I always say, we cannot allow other people to dictate our happiness or our state of being or our emotional responses. We are the ones that dictate how we feel, nobody else. But as I always say in this regard too, that what we react to, we relate to, both on the good end of the spectrum and the negative end of the spectrum. So, and I would say, like, if you didn't really relate to something, you'd feel indifferent to it, or you wouldn't really react to it, right? You would just kind of like, yeah, whatever. But when you see someone like, oh my God, they're such a beautiful energy. They're so caring, so giving. They're so loving. I love their energy. Or they're so funny. And so, well, you're funny. You're loving. You're caring. You're reacting to an energy you relate to. It's you, right? Or if like, oh, I can't stand them. They just don't shut up. And they just always have to, that's such an overbearing energy. Well, you're overbearing your energy. Because clearly your response to an overbearing energy is overbearing. So that you're reacting to what exists within you. Therefore, you're thinking other people are being the ones that are making you feel a certain way. You're thinking the people are the ones that are dictating how you're supposed to be. It's like, nope, you're just reacting to what you relate to. So therefore, we're actually making the excuse too and putting on others the fact that it's the other people that make me feel this way. It's that person that made me feel angry. It's that person that made me feel sad. It's that person that pissed me off, or it's that person that made me feel like I lost something. Or it's that person that minimized me. It's not the other person. They're acting and breathing and living their own way. And if you're engaging with it and you're reacting to it, you relate to it because it's what you were possessing within yourself. That's where people always say, like, it's always within you. It's within you. It's always a projection and it's a mirroring energy. And so this is what we mean by this. But in that sense, you can't let other people and how they choose to express themselves rob you of your own happiness. No matter what it is. Even if you have an obligation with somebody or some sort of connection or relationship with somebody, you cannot allow your connection with them to dismantle the things that you know you need and want for your own future. And how many of you guys are actually really doing that in your life without, or doing that unconsciously? There's so many people that are doing that so unconsciously. They don't even know that they're doing that. They just they've agreed to all these obligations with people in their lives. And those obligations is what keeps them in contempt of themselves, in contempt of moving forward. It keeps them in that box where they wonder, why aren't things happening for me? Because you're not in tune to yourself any longer. You're more so in tune with other people and their responses. Excuse me. You're so in tune with other people's responses and how they can respond to you that you've again filtered your own perspective and point of view through the lenses of other people. And in time, that just becomes what I call the invisible audience in your mind. You're always making decisions based on what the invisible audience in your mind is going to, applaud or, agree with or not agree with. And so who is that invisible audience? And why is the invisible audience in your mind always critical and overly critical and judgmental? Why can't you create that invisible audience in your mind that actually is supporting and celebratory and loves the things that you do? What about that part of the audience? Why don't you create that, or creating some of that type of audience in the mind and your intellect so you can actually reflect back to yourself the goodness that you can provide too? So if we're going to go one end of the spectrum, you have to look at the other end of the spectrum too to be fully balanced and look at the bigger picture. We can't just always be about the negative, the limitations, the disempowering. We got to also look at what is also positive, what is expanding, what is also empowering to my being and overall essence of who I am. Right? That's what really creates movement. And Christopher asked me this morning on LOL, he was like, so, what's your major tool to help you navigate? And I said, self-reflection, knowing what I'm feeling and how I'm reacting to things in life. Because you know where you stand in your life based on what's standing around you, right? So if you're understanding what you're reacting to and what's causing your reactions, good and bad, you understand how to navigate where to go and how to maneuver around things in life, or gravitate towards things in life, or pull things into your life in a sense. That's how you navigate. And whatever we're feeling is how we're perceiving reality, is how we're experiencing reality. So if you're trying to get into this modality of connectivity in your life, or having companionship in your life, but then you're in this filter of loss and deprivation, and you're also feeling this energy of I can't trust, and all people are just dishonest, and that's your filter. How are you going to break through to loving relationships and receiving love in relationships if you're filtering life through all those limited and depriving, filters in a sense? How are you going to get there? You got to remove the filters. And so when a lot of people ask, what are their blocks? I'm like, it's you, it's your mindset. It's how you're perceiving things. It's how you're choosing to look at life. That is your blocks. Nothing more than that. So it's like just changing a perspective, changing a point of view. It's that stupidly simple. And so, a lot of people think it's the meditation that does it, or it's the, summoning of the spirit that's done it, or they think it's the crystals that done it, or they think it's the 5,000 affirmations that they wrote in their book that done it. It's like, no, that's you trying to get yourself in the modality of the essence that you want to be. And you're trying to do it through using those tools, but they're not doing it. The key to really do it is understand what's preventing you from doing so. And I always say a lot of people are hyper focusing on the things that are not what they want versus the things that they need to expand upon and build upon in their life. And so it's a human syndrome that we do this, that people tend to be more focused on their deprivations and more focused on what they are doing wrong versus what they've done right. What can they do better? It's really, again, that simple phrase of looking at the glass half full versus glass half empty. And so I tend to look at both. Hey, it's half full and half empty. Here's what I want more of, and here's what I got a lot of too. And understand that complete boundary, that create balance of the such that you possess within yourself. So, give me a second here. I just want to mute so I can sneeze. So, and this is what they're saying, this is the path, right? What is your path? Not somebody else's path. What is your path? What is your destination? Not everybody's going to the same destination as you. Not everybody in your life is going in the same destination as you either. Not everybody's going to end up in the same spot in life. And so you want to question the people around you. Are they going to my destination? Are they in the same destination that I'm going to? And if not, why am I stalling myself to keep up with them, or to be side by side with them, to remain parallel with them if our parallels are going to diverge at some point in the future? It's important to ask yourself this. And a lot of relationships you guys are possessing, a lot of relationships you guys are in, you're trying to remain parallel, but life and spirit itself is just trying to pull you guys in different directions, or you're just heading different directions, but you're still trying to force this parallel energy, which is not actually what is there and what it's actually needed to be, and where it's going to head and be ultimately in the future. Just dragging yourselves in the mud, playing with all this tension. So you must know, you got to know what your destination is. What is your goal, per se? I hate to use the word goal because, people get so obsessed and so goal-oriented, they miss the point. But what a goal is, it's like, I have to get this, I have to achieve this, and they get such in that cycle of having to accomplish all these things and achieve these things, and they find themselves being more like the to-do list. Life becomes a to-do list for them, right? So you want to know your destination and the journey to the destination, and ask yourself how many people you are on a journey on that you're deterring off your journey, off your path, and mingling other people's paths. And this is where you have to start setting those boundaries too. And so the boundaries card came out with that as well. Setting boundaries, who you mingle with. Understand the context of your relationships, your friendships, your family dynamics, your romantic partnerships, whatever they are. Understand the variables of such. Because a lot of times we keep ourselves stuck just because we don't want to move away from a relationship that's been in our lives. Whatever the dynamic is, whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship or a family relationship, we have to be bound to it. That holds yourself back. That's actually trying to pacify that relationship to make them feel happy, so you feel guilty you don't leave, and all sort of stuff, and you actually deprive yourself of your own happiness. You know, and it is all about your pleasures, right? So like I said, pleasures and attraction. So let me bring more intellect to that than just the simplicity of passion and attraction. Passion and your pleasures right now is kind of just an indication. It's your roadmap. So whatever you feel like pleasurable toward or passionate toward, that is an indication. It's like your spec sheet of your soul. The things that make you excited is your spec sheet. So you should understand what makes you excited. You should understand the things that you take genuine pleasure in, and understand the things you're really passionate about. Because then when you understand those variables, what you're passionate about and things that please you, you understand the spec sheet of your soul. You get to know yourself a lot more. You got to know what makes you tick on all ends of the spectrum. And, you know, when we say follow your excitement, because that's a part of, like, you know, following your excitement is where you find your happiness, because happiness is a result. Excitement doesn't mean that you're jumping up and down and doing naked cartwheels all the time. Excitement doesn't mean like, oh my God, yay, like these crazy lunatics that are just like toxic positivity, like, oh my God, yay, and all that crap. That's not excitement. That's just delusion. That's people trying to sweep things on the rug and overcompensate for their shitty experiences that they have or the shitty emotions that they're trying to bury. But excitement is not just when you're truly excited and like, yay. Excitement is also you're engaged with something. Something that brings your focus in. Excitement is it holds your attention. Excitement means like you want to build with it. You want to work with it. Excitement could be you're reading a book that you're just so entrenched in. Right? You know, a craft or something of that nature that just holds your attention. And you keep thinking about how you want to build and evolve it. That's what you need to be consistent and loyal to, are those excitements. But excitement comes in so many different variables. And I think people misinterpret when they hear like follow your excitement. They just think it means they just like have to be like, oh my God, yay, all the time. No. I couldn't stand it if I had to be in that, oh my God, yay, energy all the time. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts to watch people like that. It's out of balance to me. Because what balances, peace is what balances, means that you feel content. There's a contentment. That's what real happiness is, content. I'm not overly, oh my God, so excited, so happy. Because when you're that energy, that means you've been so deprived of it. And when you get it, you're like, oh my God, you know. And so balance is like you feel contentment, like, yes, this is right. This is correct. This is peace. This is in alignment. There's a secured energy to peace and happiness. It's an appreciation. And it's also appreciation saying that it's also these circumstances, physical circumstances, are temporary. Which means happiness can also be temporary. Which means when you feel that peace and happiness, you cherish the moment of it. Because you understand something could come in the way and something else can come in and render a different emotion. Or knock me off track, or knock me off balance emotionally or intellectually. So I'm going to enjoy this state of peace and happiness. So I'm going to be savoring this energy. Right? That's where happiness manifests. That's you being in control of your happiness, as we said in the beginning. That's you dictating about this will make me happy. This is where I will participate to render happiness. But when you're not doing those things and following those excitements, when you're not, you know, listening to the self or being self-reflected, more misery comes into place. More upset, more anxiety, more anxiousness, more frustration. All those things start to render because you're so out of balance to what you truly need, and you're so disconnected from the source of self. And that's what anxiety is. When you cut yourself off from your lifeline, that's very scary, because it's like your source, your soul is your guide, it's your navigation system. You cut yourself off, life is scary. There's no direction, there's no guidance, there's no security, there's no power when you cut yourself off from your life force, which is your soul source. That's where anxiety comes from. The trepidation of like, I don't feel confident. I don't know. Everything scares me. I don't know. I'm just panicking about everything is going wrong. The only option is for things to go wrong in my life. That is the only option. I mean, a lot of you guys are not saying that's your only option, but you're basically saying that by sitting back and just running. Why are all these things happening to me? All these conditions. What do I do? And it's like, yeah, what do you do? It's about what are you doing? Not what to do. What are you doing? And it's really important for us to always look when we're in these modes or in these little ruts to ask ourselves, what have I been doing though? What can I change? And understand the things that you can look in the future and say, I would be happy if I'd be happy if, when you keep saying I'd be happy if, you got to start saying I'm going to be doing this because I will be happy doing such, not if I get something. Doing such will make me happy. You want to find that code. What can I do to make me happy? What can I do that will actually be in alignment to happiness? Not to get you happiness, but what can I do that will render happiness? Because then you will understand what your purpose really is. People just trying to feel the sensation of happiness, like as if that's all they're looking for is a sensation of happiness. That's wrong. What we're truly looking for is understanding, awareness of the soul, of the self. Direction, what our purpose is. That's what we're looking for. That then renders the happiness. But some of you guys are trying to chase the happiness. You're trying to chase the faux joy, the faux happiness. And so everything else becomes a dictator of that happiness. The circumstance becomes a dictator of your happiness. If you don't have it, you're not happy. When you get it, now you're happy. When that fizzles out, then your happiness fizzles out. So you're still not really in control of your own happiness. Everything else becomes that such. If it's a person, I need that relationship to make me happy. Well, that relationship has to be up your butt in order for you to be happy. No, figuratively speaking, could be a pun intended too. For those of you, and you have to understand that, like, you should be happy with or without that relationship, with or without that person. Everything is just an extension of your expression, and that's what true happiness really is. True peace is really that understanding, that balance of such. You know, and so in order to really understand that, we got to understand where our intuition lies. We all have intuition. And so the question is, how intuitive are you being in your life? Are you rendering things by default? Are you just behaving just because you're reacting to your circumstances? Are you just being hyper reactive to things? Or are you taking a step back to feel things through? And understand where you're navigating because of that. Understand how you're learning more about yourself and what makes you tick by looking at the circumstances and driving and maneuvering around these circumstances to take more control of how you're navigating your life. That's the question. So when we think about that, then we can ask ourselves, when we do decide to rely on intuition, what happens? Well, there's a lot of downloads you can get with your intuition. And this is what we call divine downloads. Okay? And divine just means it's from the soul. Right? The divine energy is soul. It's soul energy, soul consciousness. And a lot of times people can call it the Akashic Records. You know, all that information that's up there in spiritual land and all the spiritual books in the spiritual library, every knowledge about past lives, current lives, future lives, structure of things, creativity, right? All that information. We all have access points to that information. But that the connection is in our soul, spirit, whatever you want to call it, intuition. It's all the same mumbo jumbo, same thing, right? So your intuition is the access point to that. So in every aspect of your life, you should be asking yourself, what do I intuitively feel about this? When you're reacting to something, you say, what do I really feel about the situation? Your intuition might say, hey, you're repeating a pattern here. And you change it, fix it, and boom, then your life starts leading in a different way, a different path, different momentum. Things start happening in your favor. You start finding a path that's more in alignment to your purpose and your expressions. Just because you're allowing yourself to be intuitive for that one moment. Instead of like randomly making decisions, if things are going bad in your life, you say to yourself, but what do I intuitively feel? And your intuition might say, you're looking for work, but you're looking in the wrong places. You'll find something next week, but look here. And you might say, I never thought to look there before. And you look there and a week happens, you find a job. Oh, wow. Here I was just dragging myself through the mud. I was looking in the wrong places, or being so in panic mode, I wasn't thinking correctly. But my intuition helped to neutralize that energy so that I could actually see things correctly. That's intuition. So the divine downloads is really just insight and information that your soul already possesses. But we got to download it in this physical brain. The physical brain is just like a computer basically, hard drive and a processor to process physical reality. And what we choose to program in that physical brain is what our soul, the intuition, is going to be doing. We got to live from the soul first, program the brain, and then experience physical reality. So many people letting themselves live by the brain, by outdated beliefs, outdated experiences. I would say it's like outdated logic. People say, oh, no, I'm just being logical. I'm like, but where's your logic coming from? See, my logic comes from the soul and the intuition. If your logic comes from your brain, how can you trust that if everything from your brain has been programmed from your past experiences? And how reliable are your past experiences and the beliefs that you've rendered from those past experiences? How reliable is that logic if it was self-deprecating or even or self-deprecating, I'll have to say that too. Self-defecating as well. But if they were very depriving circumstances, that's very faulty logic. So your logic in your current space will be so faulty and so limiting. And you think you're being logical, but you're actually just keeping yourself in hibernation mode and in isolation to prevent yourself from experience those past experiences that are not really in your future, but you're just holding on to that type of logic to keep you safe. You're not going to allow yourself to see things for the future. You're not going to allow yourself to get those downloads from the divine source because you've allowed yourself to rely on faulty logic from the physical brain instead of creating new logic based on your experiences and what you've learned. That's how you reprogram your circumstances. And when you allow yourself to do that and you're in tune, your channel is open, you're really focused on that intuitive building, in essence of knowing what you feel and what you're sensing. You get to be more psychic. You get to get more information about the collective. You get to see what's going on in the collective. You get to see, hey, look, I need to look out for this. You get downloads. I have to go here to look at that home, and that home is the one you buy. Or I have to go over here to, for some reason go to lunch, and you meet someone and connects you with a job, or whatever the case is. You get those downloads. And I had a lot of circumstances happen to me in recently, and I felt something and boom, it happened. And like I said, I want this, and boom, it happened. People are like, I thought you don't believe in manifestation. I said, that's not me manifesting. That's me being psychic about what's next because I'm in tune to my path. And I've been rendering and fulfilling my divine purpose. And so I just know it's next. I feel it coming and boom, it happens. So I want people to understand it's not about being, a manifester. It's about being, are you psychic enough to know what's happening next in how you're rendering your life? That's more powerful because you're manifesting from the soul level regardless. And the fact is the brain thinks it's trying to manifest physical things, but the soul's like, I manifest experiences. The more I experience, the more I expand, the more things happen, and the more I can navigate around the physical world. The clearer I am, the more perceptive I am, and it appears like you're manifesting, but you're just navigating very like a master, like a boss. Because you understand what you feel. You get those downloads. Go here, make a left. There's going to be a person at this place on Tuesday. Go out on Tuesday. You'll get all those downloads. If you're trying to establish something in your life and trying to create something in your life, you'll get a download that says, you used to do this in a past life. You're a good writer. Start writing. Boom. Something else comes out, right? Another expression comes out that renders a new talent for you. And then that starts becoming fulfilling because you're expressing who you truly are from the soul level. You're expressing all those hidden talents. You're recognizing, realizing all these new talents, and they're thriving. Boom. Result is happiness. So these divine downloads, they're all accessible to you at all times. Are you reaching for them? Are you making yourself available to unpack those downloads? That's why people say, we can talk in so many different terminologies. Oh, there's gifts for you all the time. But some people are just not reaching for them. Just like, I'm not physically seeing it now, so there's nothing for me. I'm not physically seeing it right now. It's like, and the deprivation is what you keep seeing, so you stay in deprivation. You'll keep staying and remaining in deprivation, no matter how many times you try to focus on things changing. If you're still focused on deprivation, every action you take will be full of deprivation. You'll pick the wrong job to apply for. You'll pick the wrong relationship because it all will be in this filter of deprivation. So you'll pick a relationship that connects, and that'll be a depriving relationship. Then you'll pick a job that deprives you of money because you're still in the filter of deprivation. You will filter life through every single aspect in deprivation because that is your filter. What filters do you have on? What are you allowing yourself to be accessible to? So that's when we understand what we react to, relate to, and we start really understanding that premise. And we dive deep into understanding this, and we're more keen on being conscious of what we're feeling and why, and how to navigate through our feelings and emotions to expand from them. The floodgates will open up with your intuition. Your accessibility to spirit will open up. Your accessibility to those divine downloads will be so obvious to you. You'll be psychic. All these things that you see these mystics talk about, you'll be embodied in that because you've actually opened up the true port. And you're trying to satisfy that soul, not satisfy the physical ego or the physical persona or the physical satisfactions. You're not trying to pacify those. Not that we should abandon them either. But say, for example, we think about sexual expressions. That's a very physical thing. But when you just do sexual expressions for the fetish aspect of it, or for just the fact of just having sex, it's not that pleasurable. But when you come from a sexual expression of being very in tune and being passionate and expressing love and expressing that embodiment of sexuality, that energy behind it makes the physical expression amazing. So we got to put the energy behind things and also look at the energy behind things and and put the energy behind the physical aspects or our behaviors. Because then you could have happiness is in the palm of your hand. You're not waiting for something to happen to get the happiness. It's just right here. Like I'm happy because I can buy that now. And guess what happens when you buy that now? The physical things just show up. You can see it. You can navigate around. Oh, there's a person over there. That person's attractive. This is the right job position for me. Let me go after that. That's the right home. Somebody told me to go in this neighborhood. I went in that neighborhood. Oh my God, I found the right home for the right price. Those downloads become part of you. And you realize, I'm not downloading. I'm just unpacking my soul information for my soul. I'm telling my brain how to play out physical reality. Because my soul is driving the show, not my faulty logic from past experiences. I'm not reacting to what I relate to in the negative sense. I understand let me rephrase that. You'll be more clear about what you're reacting to and what you're relating to in that sense. And you allow yourself to navigate and be more objective and say to yourself, these things that bother, that I've repaired within myself, they don't bother me within other people. I understand it. And so that's how you've mastered something. When you see someone else doing what you did, that you don't have a reaction to what they're doing, you understand it. That's happiness. That's peace. That's power. So we should strive for that intuition. We should strive for that open channel, because when we do, then we can get that flow we keep talking about, the flow of self-expression, the flow of getting that intuitive insight that we all have, the flow of understanding the navigation, the flow of understanding, like, this is a life I'm creating. Am I here just to consume? This is a life I'm creating. I'm here to experience life. How do I want to experience it? Not consume, but what I want to experience. How do I want to express? How do I want to be? How do I want to use my voice? What do I want to present? Those are the things we should be asking ourselves. That's heart focus. And when we do, we pacify, not even pacify the heart, when we nurture and satisfy that heart energy, that's the ecstasy. That's the ecstasy. That's the peace comes in. That's when the flow comes in. That's when everything just freaking lines up. And I would say everything is already lined up for you guys. The problem is, if you're experiencing a fragmented reality, you are fragmented. So therefore, it's lined up perfectly, ladies and gentlemen. If you're experiencing a life of loss, you keep depriving yourself of things in your life consistently. So you're matched with a lot of loss. So I'm sorry, but it's in sync. You don't like how it's in sync. That's telling you that you're out of sync with your soul, but reality is completely in sync to how you're expressing the self. Always. That's why we have free will, but at the same time, that's our power. So, and again, I don't want to get into this law of attraction, victim blaming bullshit. It's deeper than this. It's not to say you did something wrong. It's say, like, we have the power. And I think people misinterpret this message all the time, which is annoying, because it's saying if we were responsible for creating something, we're responsible to heal it. We're responsible to derive power from it. They missed that part. And yes, I'd rather understand for whatever level that what I experienced in the negative was something that I've created or rendered in my soul experience. Because then I know if I brought that in, I could actually expand from it in terms of power. Isn't that more powerful to understand than just saying life just sucks and bad things just happen and poor them? Come on. Let's wake up to this now for a change. There's a purpose and a meaning for everything. Life is not meaningless. We put in the meaning to life, right? And so there is still a meaning to everything. And so if we put meaning to life, meaning we breathe meaning to life before we incarnate, this life is meaningful. There's reasons for this experience. But you would understand what that is for yourself. Not again what the invisible audience is saying that you have in your head. That's maybe, a mom, representation of mom, a representation of dad, representation of brother or sister or ex-boyfriend, whatever the case is. They should not be dictating what those parameters are for you. You should. And that is the message today for this week, because we're in Aries season. It's all about fire. It's about having that passion. And if I followed that rule of thumb, I would not be here openly gay as a psychic medium presenting it to the public. Because I would rather people not know anything about me. My brain, my abused brain doesn't want, stay away from me. Leave me alone. I don't want to prove myself to anybody. I don't want people to pick at me and judge me because they do all the time, still to this day, for stupid reasons, by the way, because of being on here, because people just like to critique people who trigger them. And I'm glad I triggered those people. They need to be triggered. That was my brain of not wanting to expand because I'm like, no, I've been abused. I've gone through sexual abuse. I've gone through these deprivations. I don't want people to look at me or judge me and knowing anything about me. No. But I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have evolved from my own traumas. I wouldn't have been able to express what I'm expressing today if I allowed that to contaminate my viewpoint of what I should do to make me happy versus what makes other people feel comfortable or happy about what I do. So it's very important for all you all to think about that, right? And so a lot of families have issues with religious trauma, karma from past incarnations. That's bleeding into this incarnation. Very judgmental energy, And why are people so focused on what everybody else is doing? It's none of their business. It's none of your business what somebody else is doing. It's none of anybody's business what you're doing either, right? And so remember this. When you start wondering and thinking about like how you should respond to make someone else feel comfortable, it's none of your business. None of their business what you're doing either. And people that love you, by the way, and I'm going to end it here because we're going to get into the readings. If you want to focus on yourself and do things that's bettering of yourself, people that love you would encourage it. People that don't love you will make you feel guilty for it. Remember this. Anybody who loves you will not want you to feel guilty, would want to emphasize you doing better and feeling better for yourself. Period. Done deal. There's no exceptions to the rule on this. But if there's someone who makes you feel guilty for doing something that's best for you, they do not love you. They're selfish and they're using you as an scapegoat to get what they need from you. And they make you feel guilty so you don't deter all your attention from them. How many people are you giving this attention to are actually really supportive of you? How many? Ask yourself this. The amount of energy you're putting into these relationships to get happy, to find happiness, is it really rendering for you? Because are they showing up for you the same way? Because they're not. You're depriving yourself of happiness. And they're being the dictators of the happiness, not you. Circumstantial happiness. Well, if I do this, maybe, or maybe if we do this, or there's potential. All that bullshit. It's either is or isn't. Move forward. Move forward. Period. Done deal. No exceptions. And you start ask yourselves, how many people make you feel guilty? How many people just keep asking you for things and feel guilty because and then the time you can't, you say no, they make you feel guilty. Those people don't love you. They don't have your best interest at stake. So it's time to start clearing that out now, start living from the passion, living from your own heart, and finding people around you that support it and also are in alignment to or encourage it or are enamored by it or appreciate it. That's happiness. That's you being the dictator of your happiness. You're finding your fellow brothers and sisters who have the same energy. That's the point. Find that passion. Okay. All right. Let's get a quick message from Nina, and then we'll get into live readings.
Thursday crew, I got a channel message just for you, tapped in fresh. When I was tapping in, Spirit kept showing me you riding the wave of uncomfortability. And this wave feels like an old wave, but you have a new surfboard is the imagery that I'm seeing. Even though it can feel like a similar wave, feel like a similar ride, the surfboard and then the person on top of the surfboard, which is you, has a different aura, has a different energy to this newfound challenge that mimics some old patterning that is time for you to fully release so that you can step into the next portion of your life. The other thing that I'm getting to is I kept hearing releasing your control, releasing the grip and surrendering. The need for control really feels like almost in a state of lack and needing to feel like everything's perfect to feel like you're good enough. And I'm hearing now's a great time to ask for support, ask for help, and to dive into different areas of expertise maybe you feel like you wouldn't necessarily always gravitate towards. So between you riding the wave of uncomfortability with a new surfboard and diving into receiving support and challenging yourself by surrendering, I think it's going to be a beautiful month and a beautiful week. Take care, y'all.
Thank you for that. Yes, ride your own wave. It's your own fucking surfboard. Now, let's clarify. I said to take control, Nia said to let go of control. There's a balance of this too. You want to let go of control over circumstances. Okay? You want to let go of control over other people's behaviors and how they feel. So you want to let go and surrender to that shit. You're not in control of that. But you want to drive the control of your life and what you're feeling. Like she was saying, like, it's your own wave. You ride your own surfboard, right? Let go of the control of everybody, all the other parameters around you, or to let go of the control of the fact that there's a wave. You're navigating the wave. So I want to be clear to emphasize Nia's message that we're both saying very similar things, but in ways that's very complementary to each other. Because it is true. Some guys are trying to control how people feel and to control how what people are doing or not doing. And it's like, that's the shit we're talking about. So you can't control that. Why would you want to? Right? So okay. That's good. Let's get into these live readings now, shall we? Nina's message and my message are always, because I don't plan, this is all channeled message. I don't know what I'm going to talk, like I just know the topic. I don't know what I'm going to say about the topic. I don't know about what's going to be the read collectively. And I only listen to Nina's message when, and she doesn't know my message either reads, and I don't know what she's going to say. I just kind of hear it when I play it. So I love it's always kind of like in sync or compliments in a great way. So that's spirit, of course. Yeah, and people are thinking we have a script on Leading Out Loud on LOL, and I say no, we have an outline. I barely can say on tune with an outline. That's just when I do these things, I need to just be like raw and just like let it come out. I don't need to structure things. Like it's all in my brain. I know how to talk and I'm passionate about this, so I don't need it. But sometimes in certain things I will outline, if it's specific topics I have to bring up or logistics. But no, LOL, we have a little bit of a bullet point thing and that's it. We all free flow on that. Okay, let's pull up these things here. Readings, which I think is going to be a quiet night tonight, which might be good on me because my move is been stressing me out. I'm moving out of state. I have a lot to prepare for. But so yeah, I think it's gonna be a light night tonight, which would be great. I don't mind that. Let me just check my PayPal. Okay, just give me 2 seconds here. Thank you, Cosmic Charlie. Let me just see who the reads are. I have to go into PayPal and make sure. I have to log in and out of everything. Okay, yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. This is live. I wish I could do something like do a little dance for you. Okay. Here we go. First question is from Beth. Beth L. We love Beth L's question. So, ready for the Beth saga, right? Can we call that the Beth saga? Because I know Beth has a sense of humor. She says, the question is, the man I'm getting to know, he is nice, but with a bit of a temper and checks out both men and women. Has he been intimate with a man or men before or just with women? Let's see on this one. Beth, I know you're intuitive, so I kind of think you're answering my question for me. Okay? Make sure the light's not in the way. But let's see. No, I think this is another stank guy. And Iggy, I did see that D-O-H, Dictator of Happiness. Don't be duh. Or play dough. Let's see what this person bet. This person, why is this a good question? Why is everyone saying damn good question? What question? Who's asking what question? Look, I feel like the male aspect of him is like he gets like a massage from a male is what I feel. He feels very I'm trying to think of the word, like a rabbit, just like bouncing around, and you know what I mean? It's very impulsive energy. I will say this. I'm never short of words, but with this person, I'm just like, what do I say with this fucking energy? But I I feel like he's done stuff with men as far as like getting a massage, a masseur over his house, that type of stuff. I know it sounds weird. This is a weird question, but yeah, I feel like he's very much interested in both. But you get very impulsive energy, like bounce arounds a lot. You know, I'm very like, but that energy, like if I can interpret the energy I feel this person, it's like that. No, hi, you know, so. Man, oh man. Yeah, I don't know this one either. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Are you getting outside of the church, Beth? Because I've advised you many times to get outside of this church. There is some very, very interestingly strange people in this church. You know, yeah, like little, like a. Even like a little, like a squirrel, like it's just that the energy. It's the best, and I see him like doing this around people, you know. Yeah, I don't know, Beth. Get out of this group of people, please. Find another avenue, you know. But no, I think he's just around, and I think he's just very impulsive, and I don't care for that energy, to be honest with you. So, okay. I wish you had more questions, Beth. I love these questions. I wish you had more for me, but that's okay. Next, but certainly not least, is horses trigger hope. She says, I feel like you already answered my question, so you choose a carpool or for fun question. What is my next positive adventure? Your next positive adventure is working with the horses, my love. That's your next positive adventure. I mean, just say adventure. You know, you don't have to emphasize it by saying positive. You know, which next adventure? Next adventure is really working and diving into your craft. You know, and actually utilizing horses for healing. I mean, it's in your name, right? So that is your next stage, your next step with this. You know, and I also kind of sense some like an artistic expression with that too, or some art, because I keep showing something hanging, like a mural or a banner hanging on the wall or something. So maybe you also get into some sort of artwork connected to that too, or some sort of visual expression. I feel is the next move on that. So, so yeah, and the card pull in conjunction is temperance too. Like, take your time. Things are restructuring right now. The Six of Wands is saying that, you know, you'll be victorious. Things will move forward shortly. Just like be patient with this process. Things will resolve. You know, yeah, and especially involving other people. I think other people have been slowing down the process, but understand they have a momentum and a journey that they're on. Like just take your time with this situation now, and things will maneuver in the right direction. It's just sometimes it's just a time for things, right? Sometimes it's just a timing thing, and we have to understand that too. Like I said in the beginning, it's like a timing thing. Understand the timing of where things are at. So right now, just practice a little temperance, a little patience at the moment, and just find ways to be more visually creative, expressive. You know, so, but really it's going to open up, you know. I feel like you're like on that verge of that, you know what I mean? So keep doing what you're doing. Right now you just need to acquire patience during this time and just look at things more acutely about what you're trying to restructure right now. Look at things more specifically, you know? So, because I always say too, like, we have decades of life left to live, guys. Decades of life left to live. So if things like are slowed down for a month or two, like enjoy the month or two of just like not having to worry about anything. Things aren't moving. Say like, maybe I've been so stressed out about trying to start this project. Well, if I just kind of take a step back, just like not worry about that for a couple months. Let life tell you that. Understand the timing of things. And so they just want you to relax right now, because we get more inspiration, like I said before, more of those divine downloads when we're in calm states. We're not in like trepidation mode, you know, we're scared about things, or we're not like trying to push things so much. We get more downloads. We're just kind of in a state of I'm just going to relax and not have any expectations for the moment. That's where I got most of my ideas too. When I was trying, like, when I was writer's block, and I'm like, oh, I need to get this part of the song. I'm blocked, and I knew I got myself to understand, like, once I just stop and like do something else, boom, then it comes to me, you know. So allow your brain to be in a state where it's receptive and more in theta state. You're not focusing on so much that's so tense all the time. Just allow yourself to not have expectations. Say, well, fuck these to-do lists right now. I'm just gonna kind of just chill for a month or so. Watch what happens. There's a mastery to that, guys. I'm telling you, it took me a long time to master that part. I'll tell you, it took me a long time. Being a Virgo rising and the personality, the Italian Puerto Rican that I am, it took me a long time to master that. But that's only because I didn't know that I had to master that. But if someone told me how to master that, well, then I'm like, we could focus on it. Maybe it wouldn't take it as long. So that's what I'm trying to help you guys understand what to master. So when you do, it wouldn't take as long. You know, that's part of being psychic. People think psychics means, what's my future? What's my future? It's like, a good psychic knows what you're feeling, what you're depriving yourself of, what your past karma is, what your unresolved is, what your patterns are, how to change it, and all that stuff. That's a good psychic. And so people think when I'm doing this, I'm just being maybe general to them. It's like, no, it's specific to this person. Because another person, I'd tell to, like, that's not me, you know? So let's think about that, right? So not you, horses. I'm just saying other people who are watching. I'm always hearing things from people who are watching, or I'm reading thoughts that are coming from people watching. I'm just addressing what some people are thinking and just, you know, like tennis. I hear someone say something. I'm like, no, fuck off. You know, it's like, oh, it's a general. Like, no, fuck off. It's specific. If I told you that, you wouldn't agree with it. You know, so that's why I go on tangents, because I can hear people saying shit while they're watching it. Or might say something or think something. So just got to cover all bases for people who are just like, yeah, but, no, but, yeah, but, no, but, yeah, but, no, but, yeah, but, no, but, yeah, but, no, but. I mean, just think about that. Yeah, but it's like, reminds me of that book of a borderline personality. It says, it's like, I hate you, don't leave me. Signs of a borderline personality. That book makes you laugh all the time. I hate you, don't leave me. Yeah, but, no, but, yeah, but, no, but, yeah, but, no, but. Reminds me of like the Little Britain. It is a British show, I think. Little Britain, there's a character. He goes, yeah, but no, but, yeah, but no, but. I don't know if you guys seen that before, but all right, moving on to the reads, shall we? Card pull for Dana Abel. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna say the whole last name. For Dana. Remember, guys, card pulls are just very simplistic. They're not full-on reads. Remember this. Like, I didn't get my whole life trajectory in a card pull. You're not going to. You're going to get like a symbol of what needs to be focused on the current state. That's it. So, all right. This is for Dena. I hope I'm saying it correctly. And again, these cards are very general. She may be sleeping. All right. Well, here, mark the time code down, Kristen. Right, so it's 56:42. Like, mark that time code down. That's where she's doing her read, and you can remind her that, you know. It feels like it's an emotional read. Where's my Be nice if I had my whole set of cards over here. Yeah. It's funny because. Oh man. So, because I have the Hermit card in reverse, so it's advised that she needs to get out of her shell, Mrs. Dena. Like, I think she needs to stop isolating herself emotionally. She's got to come out of her shell, you know, and stop like holding on to like past circumstances. Stop holding on to like, but I just don't trust people. I don't know, and just being so finicky. She's got to get over that energy and like just come out of her shell, push herself out of that shell. The Hangman in reverse is all about kind of a renewed awakening, right? And turn things upside down. The way she was thinking about things, she's got to like reshift of her focus on things. I think she's got a lot of trust issues because of people that maybe taken from her, people taking advantage of her. So she's like saying, okay, because of certain people taking advantage of me, like everybody's gonna take advantage of me, so I'm gonna shut down and not let anybody else in. That's not rational. So I think that she needs to come out of her shell and understand. It's just understanding there's a variable, a spectrum of people and personality. Not everybody takes advantage of people. Not everybody's untrustworthy, right? So, and I think this is where she'll find more growth and more maybe trust in herself and like get out of her comfort zone. You know, which honestly, her comfort zone is uncomfortably comfortable. So it's not comfortable as much as she thinks it is. So that's her simple read. And I love the action card saying, like, do something about it. Like, do something fun. Like, when you change action, the uncomfortable aspect is just doing something new, but take the action that is pleasurable for you. That's something that I want to do. That I've been always wanting to like go to see that whatever place, and you go and find it. You go experience it. Like, you know what? I felt good. I got out of myself and I did something I enjoyed. That's taking action. It should not. The only uncomfortable thing is the fact that you're doing something different, but the action itself should be really, really, you know, pleasurable. So I want you to focus on pleasure. So what does Kristen say? She's dealing with a lot of shitty people. One major specific, yeah. Well, slap me silly and call me psychic. You know? Yeah, but no but. She can't because it's not rational. We have to remind ourselves there's a spectrum of people. There's people that are shitty all the way to people that are so freaking amazing, Mother Teresa. Where are you hovering with your experience of people? Why do people just want to hover over here with all the shitty people? Oh, but these people are shitty, so I'm going to deprive myself from all these people because this portion of the pie is shitty. No. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? It's like, what about all these people? I'm just going to hover here and complain about these shitty people. I'm not really saying that's Dana, but I'm saying Dana kind of has a human mindset that we develop when we get in those modalities, because we tend to think that our reality is like the whole world, and it's not. You know. Okay. Next is Leanne Pitt. Right, Pitt. Leanne says, currently selling my house. I'm wondering if I should buy another house, different area and bigger, with my husband. I can't tell you what to do, girl. It's your decision to do that. You know, I can't be like, yes, I'm going to make your decisions for you in your life. I can't do that. But you're going to do it anyway, so do it. How about that? You're not asking me if you should. I think you're saying, is this a good decision? Is what you're really asking me. So it's like, I don't feel any reason not to. I'll say that. You know, if there was going to be some sort of issue, if you're jumping the gun, I'd say you might be jumping the gun on this, but I don't see any issue why you shouldn't. And I understand the kind of the merging of letting go of yours and merging into with your partner, but star card, three of cups, celebration. So it seems it could be a really good experience for you to do so. You make the decision. I'm just telling you, it feels like it'd be great. I don't feel like there'd be anything, you know, that would interfere with your experience. I think if anything, it'd be enjoyable and pleasurable for you to do so. So if you decide to, great. If you don't decide to, great. But I think that if you're questioning whether or not it'd be a good thing for you, sure, it feels good. I think you might be pleasantly surprised of how that would be good for you. So stop trying to be too independent, Leanne. You know, understand you can still be independent and still, you know, share things and do things collectively too. You know. And matter of fact, that could actually enhance more of your independence. With me, I thought, again, I was didn't want to lose independence being in a relationship, and I found I have more of my independence now in my relationship because, you know, we're bringing that out of each other more in our relationship, and, you know, and enhancing our own independent qualities. And so it's actually, I feel like I have a life partner, and I also like feel independent too, and we both have that essence, and then support, and it just becomes fun, you know. So remember that. But I understand the trepidation. I'm not trying to dismiss your trepidation on it, but there's no need to be. But don't blame me either if you hate it when you do it. I'm just kidding. Dana Love. Dana's cute because Dana Dana made a comment about my, you know, she thought, I thought you were just like, you had male pattern baldness and now you have full head of hair. It's like best hair on the internet. And then she felt bad. She thought she was like, calling me out. I'm like, I said, don't feel bad. I don't take myself that seriously to be offended. And like, you're right. Like I had no hair for a long time. So I decided to invest in getting myself some hair. So it's obvious. I'm not trying to hide it. Obviously, I paid for something, right, to get my hair. So, and I did. And so no, then she decided to do a pay it forward. And I'm like, guys, you know me, like we're open communication here, guys. You know, so I'm still going to do card pull for you anyways, Dana. Okay. Oh my God, my back. Jesus, my back. I felt like I was 50. So yes, High Priestess card is for you, Dana, which means like you have intuitive mystical abilities. Utilize them. The High Priestess card doesn't come just as anybody with just intuition. So please utilize that, you know. And I think that'd be a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. So they're saying practice your abilities, push it more, really do it, really push it forward, you know. And I think you could maybe be a reader if you'd like to, if you wanted to tap into it with your intuition. But they're saying to study this, expand it now. All right, Dana. So there, I paid you forward. So, yeah. I mean, do you guys really want to know what I did with my hair? I mean, I'll tell you if you guys really want to know. I mean, you guys, I feel like people are afraid to even ask. You know, like what happened to your what just 2 months you have all his hair? What happened? You guys curious? If you guys are curious, I will let you know. So I want to see it in the chat. So yes, tell me what you did and let me know, and I'll tell you. I'm open, transparent. You guys are my family, right? I got to tell you, you got to know what's going on. So if you want me to tell you what I did, put it in the chat. Okay, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to answer a question and see how many people. Okay, Kristen Villarreau says, I strongly believe my younger brother is an alcoholic. Should we family be worried about him? Alcoholism presence of mom's family. Yes, I feel like he's struggling emotionally, your younger brother, Kristen. You know? I feel like there's a lot of repressed emotion from his father, right? And I think his father is, you know, part of the reason why he's not able to express himself. I think that's where that drinking is coming into play with him, you know. So I don't like the word worried, but I'd be very much aware of what he's doing and make sure you bring him a level of support, Kristen. Okay, and so it's like people worry and just like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like you don't want to tell someone who's doing something, don't do that, I'm worried about you. You say to yourself, you okay? What's going on? What do you need? You need to talk? Like, what's going on? You all right? Like, that's what we need to do more of. So that's what I do with your brother. But he feels like he's like in this emotional, you know, he's struggling emotionally. I feel like his dad is some reason a cause of this deprivation of emotion or upset, you know, and just being a man and all that stuff that he's challenged with. So, I think he's trying to escape. And not all people who start drinking or, you know, is escape. I think that he is really trying to escape his emotions and lacking his navigation of life and his future. So yeah, I mean, again, not be worried, but it's like, it's understanding like what's going on. Like, talk to me. What are you not expressing? I would say addictions manifest when people have internal energy that's not being expressed. That drives them nuts. You know, yeah. Don't try the AA thing with him, my love. Try just talking with him, sitting down and being his sister, and saying, "What's up, brother? You all right, man? What are you thinking? How you feeling?" Just let him feel heard. Let him feel comfortable. He can just express what he's expressing. That he just feels like someone's there without judgment. That's what he needs. Without judgment, coming down, being loving. It's like, you know, I miss you. Let's take him somewhere. Take him with I want to have some brother sister time. Let's go out somewhere. You know, let's go to a movie or let's go to lunch. I want to take you to lunch. I just want to hang out with you. If he starts feeling like someone has interest in him and then you hear him speak and you're allowing him to like express himself, guess what? He's gonna feel better. Like there's nothing wrong with expressing his emotions. That's what helps. The problem is people want to push them in a facility. People want to push people into like into judgment and punishments, but they don't want to take the time to nurture the relationship. I'm not saying it's you, Chris. I'm saying just in general, people. There's something wrong with him. Put him in AA. Put him in this. He's got to learn. It's like if he's struggling emotionally now, that's a different story. If sometimes people are too far deep into things, that's a different story. But someone like him, he just needs someone to show up and just let me add some nurturing time into this relationship. Let me just listen. Let me sit down and just like shoot the shit with him. Let me be his friend. You know, that does so much of a difference with people. How do I know? I used to do that to a lot of my friends, and they thank me years later for doing that for them. And the ones that have done that to me, I look back and say, thank God for them. They help me to keep myself level-headed and to process better, you know. Okay. All right, so y'all got to know the hair. So I am wearing a hairpiece. It is a hairpiece. It's a real human hairpiece. So all this hair up to here is my real hair, right? So that's all my real hair. And then I shaved this area here to account for the hairpiece. So I did have hair on top. It's just not full. It's not so the hairpiece can just go on and goes on, glues on. And so yeah, so this is all my real hair, and I'm going even longer because I can start trimming it better. And so it's a hairpiece. I take it off every couple weeks to clean it, and so then every 4 months, I think you just get a new one. So, and then you have a stylist cut it. So I had a stylist cut it and do what I wanted to. So there's a couple of lives that the piece is not on right. It was like not on good. I'm like, oof, look at that. Look at that 5 head, you know, but yeah, it's a new thing. A lot of men are doing that today. Even men who have a full head of hair, it's like not thin enough. So they'll shave their head and put the piece on. And so it's real human hair. It's got like a really thin, like skin thing that goes on, so you can actually see through. So you see your scalp through the hair, so it looks like the hair's coming out of your own scalp. It's pretty cool. You know, so I'm like, I wear hats all the time. What's wrong with wearing a hairpiece? Like, whatever. I mean, women wear wigs and extensions and makeup. I'm like, fuck, okay, we can throw on a hairpiece if it looks good. Why not? I just didn't want it to look like obvious, like, oh, I can see the hairpiece there. So, but I also feel like, you know, I just got so bored of the same look. I'm not insecure that I had a shaved head or thin hair. I loved it, rocked it, and I probably would do it again at some point. But I just want to change the look. I want to express myself differently. You know, so. So yeah, I mean, so a lot of people are doing it. A lot of younger men, I've realized, I've been doing this too, actually. Some are doing it so well, some are doing it very cheaply done and all that stuff, but I'm like, I'm going to master like that and maybe help other men too to do it. So, but yeah. And so the longer this grows, I want to grow even longer my own real hair. And so, yeah, it's really cool. But I don't know why men get shamed or feel shamed for like doing that or even calling it out. Who cares? If it looks good, who cares? Women wear extensions, women change their hair and weaves and, you know, and implants and all that stuff. Why the fuck can, you know, men do what makes them look good too? You know, it's like shit. But yes, I could shower with it. I could swim with it. The wind doesn't blow it off. It's like really secured. I can pull it and it doesn't come off. So, yeah, they've really kind of, I mean, if you think about toupees back in the 80s, how far they've come. I'm like, they don't even use the word toupee anymore. They call it a male hair system. Is what they call it now. So, yeah, it's really fun. I love it. So, but that's the secret. See this out. So, but thank you for the compliments. I appreciate that. But yeah, I actually, that's funny. James says I didn't realize it was a hair piece. Many people are like, in person, I had a neighbor look at me. He's like, "Would they sew it in your head?" I'm like, "No." It's like, "Did they sew it in there?" Like, no. He actually thought they sewed hair in my scalp. So that's funny. But yeah, dude, and guys, and I'm also being very transparent about that because one, I don't care. But two, guys, do what makes you feel comfortable. You know, and like, don't be ashamed about what you want to do to make yourself feel comfortable, or just to change a look, or do whatever, just whatever makes you feel comfortable. And I always told people, like, you know, I was thinking about getting a hair transplant years ago because I used to have very thick, long hair, and it just didn't come that way after a while. So, you know, I lost a lot of that, and so I was never insecure. But I was like, I was looking to maybe get a hair transplant, but I'm like, you know, I don't want to get a hair transplant unless because I felt insecure about it. At the time, I wanted to get a transplant because I felt insecure about my hair. I'm like, no, I want to get with insecurity and feel comfortable to where I don't need it, and then I'll get it when I don't care, you know. So yeah, I manifested it. All right, next is we got Kristen. Let me do this next here. Sydney Aaron card pull, but yeah. You'd be surprised how many actors have hair pieces too. You'd be surprised. So, but it's funny, like, but when I do take it off to clean it, because I have the way I shave it, I look like Bozo the Clown. It's hilarious. I almost when I take a selfie and post it on social media, it's hilarious. But you know, it doesn't bother me too, because I think I pull off the shaved head look either way, so it's all good. All good in the hood. All right, this is for Sydney Aaron. Okay. Yeah, I know, and it's funny. I had a meeting for a project. I'm probably gonna do a big project very soon. I'm like excited, so I'm not gonna talk about it yet. But it was someone who connected me with this project who I've known for a long time. He hadn't seen me since I had hair, so he was like, "Oh my God, Scott, you have hair!" And then he had this hair, but his looked like he actually was wearing a piece, like a curly hair piece. And it's like, I'm like, you know. So, but yeah, I've seen that a lot too. I've seen this amazing stuff too. You know, hey, to that price. But Sydney, they're saying for you. The carpool, the Aerofont is someone who's like overly regimented, structured in a sense, you know what I mean? And you're still like caught in between things with the Two of Swords. Like, pick a lane, my love. You know what I'm saying? Pick a lane. And I would say definitely like pick a lane as far as like, where are you really going to head? Are you going to really go and pick your own lane? Or are you going to actually start mingling back with the treacherous energy, you know, of the ex, right? Of the ex-husband. So like, own it and make it your mission to be deliberate. Like, yeah, no, I'm having this separation. I'm in this lane now. Like, I'm not going back and forth and switching lanes. I'm not going to like question myself anymore to go back into that lane or not. to pacify. And I think the collective read is very much fitting for you too, Cindy, on this. Make sure you understand, no, this is my new lane. This is my new direction. This is my new consistency. And that's it. And I'm being very regimented in this lane right now. Just own that emotionally, they're saying. You know, period. Right? Period. No questions asked about it again. You know, so that's just kind of that read right now. Cindy's kind of like, you know, we're gonna like the pinball. It goes off track. I'm that bumper to just kind of bump you back on, right? When you go off, just bump you back on. That's what I'm here for. Because you're doing it, but it's like you might be swaying. I'm here to push you back on that way, you know. So, I'm gonna see. This was a very, very sweet comment. Honey, you hit the genetic lottery. You look good regardless. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. My mother is beautiful. My dad is massively handsome, so I can't take all the credit for that. I only take credit for maintaining the looks, right? But my parents are beautiful people too. So inside and out, my parents are beautiful inside and out. So I can't take all the credit for that, but we do kind of, as you get older, we carry ourselves through our energy, through our personality. We carry ourselves through how we take care of ourselves. So I'll take credit for that part, but my parents have a great mix. Puerto Rican, Italian. No wonder why I chose them as my parents. So, and speaking of family, here's my sister. My sister says, what vibe do you get from me with my job I'm at for 3 months? Something feels off for me. I'm not liking the change. Stick it out or get out. Well, you'll stick it out for probably another 3 months. So I think you'll find something else in another 3 months. I think it's good to stick it out until then, but I feel like probably like in another 3 months. I feel like you being there for like 6 months total, maybe something else will come along the way. There's nothing particular or specific that stands out for the job. This is getting from my sister Lisa, but I and you never told me about this, but I just feel like it's just not your thing. That's all. It's just not your thing. And so you'll find something else that kind of pulls you in a different direction. Probably in the next 3 to 4 months tops, I'll say. But stick it out and then get out. That's what they're saying. Because you'll feel the timing of where something else will come through. And you will. I think that the longer you stay, the more you're just like, I just don't like it. And you don't even need a reason. It's just you don't like the energy. Like I'm just here just like this. I don't like the people. I don't feel like I'm being utilized. I want to utilize. It's all that energy. So no matter what changes there, you'll still feel that there. So it's really you. You know, but you'll find something else, you know, soon. Ron Groom is next, which is Carpool enter thoughts on stock market crash and crazy Trump tariffs and my 401k. Oh my, I like my money, but I also like gambling a little. What is the question there? Tariffs of Look, here's the thing with the crashing, right? Because I really feel we're about to go on a big boom financially this year. So I think there's an intentional crash. I honestly think personally that Trump is deliberately trying to crash shit. Pull money out of things, deliberately crash shit. This way, when it comes up again, look what I did. It's huge. We did some huge gains, right? So I feel like there's an intentional, and then also it's going to go, right? So, and I'm not really trying to give, Trump credit or not credit. I'm just being very diplomatic here, being very moderate, because I'm not pro or anti anything, right? It is what it is, energy. We're reading what it is. But I think it's intentional. I think this year there will be a boom, and I think people will start seeing more returns in their finances. And this is also very normal too, that it goes up and down all the time. But it's not like it's tanking and completely tank. I just don't feel that never happens. But I do feel like there will be a boom or burst some point this year, So just hold off on that. Just don't spend anything right now. And I don't know why people putting their savings within a 401k. I would put it in something else that the government does not have contingency, attachments to. We don't get feed for taking money out. Like I'd put it in something else. That is actually protected to where you can do what you want with it. There's also not any type of penalties for taking money out. Like put it in something else. And I wish I was more financially apt to understand those sorts of things versus just me. I just build my savings. I don't know if it's like CODs or put money in a trust. I don't know. Find other options. But if it's in 401, it's in a 401 now. There's nothing really you can do about it. But as far as the market's concerned, I think there will be a boom though. But this is, to me, guys, this politics stuff is two sides of the same coin. There's no Democratic Republican Party. It's a uniparty. Okay, there's a shadow government that they use these puppets as ways if you think that you're having a choice, and all this shit would happen regardless of who you're voting for. So that's the biggest illusion. And then we're fighting against each other about Republican, Democrat, and so then we don't really see the bigger picture. It's such a fucking mind fuck of what they are doing with this political stuff. But Trump is going to change everything. Elon's changing all this stuff, or Kamala is the one who's going to change this for human rights and all this stuff. No, they're not. Whatever's meant to happen is going to happen regardless of who you vote for, because it's a single party that we're deluded into thinking that it's a dual party. It's not. It's not. The same shit's going to happen. That's why I can predict what's going to happen in politics. It's a no-brainer. When I see it from their perspective, of course it's going to do that. Of course it's going to cover that up. Of course it's going to turn that into a psyop. Duh. So, I mean, it's clear why Elon is there, because he's bought his way there, and this is another indication that if you have money, you have power all of a sudden, you can start meddling with other shit just because you have money. I mean, hello. I mean, this is what politics are. And look at the technocrats that follow whatever way the politicians lean. Before, it was all about the woke shit. Now they're anti-DAI. Do you see how it just sways depending on what the politics are, like a pendulum? But there's people that are behind that are swinging that pendulum deliberately. Those are what we want to be looking at, and not so hyper-focused on this divide, this faux divide, But yeah, Ron, I feel like, just sit tight. There will be a boom, and so, all these threats of losing things, I don't feel that. That's not because I think that Trump is the amazing person doing it. I just don't feel there's so many other people involved. It benefits also the shadow government, so to speak, for us to thrive too. It benefits them too when we thrive. You know what I'm saying? But they also benefit when we're not thriving. So there has to be that duality of constant thrive, not thrive energy. That's why they play that game. That's why they always play this pendulum swinging. So understand the current, understand the waves, understand the current even when you're dealing with stocks and crypto. Understand, the ups and downs and how to utilize the ups and downs and so forth. Understand this. It's that simple. I think people are people are putting so much emphasis because there's so much extreme happening right now. But, I just think that things are breaking down. People are waking up, people are not, and so people are really kind of, I think, the politicians are responding to how much we're starting to know now, so I feel like they're panicking in a sense. So, but yeah, I always feel like people are going to be doing well in 2025, so again, May of movement might start in May, so. All right. Eggs are still $12 though. Next is Stephanie Panaharada. What does it say here? Which I had to add just that. I told you I was going to do it. The last live show I told you, I said, that I loved our video. I said, I'm going to put you in the intro. It's perfect for the intro. Because I'm like, I needed new ones for the intro, and I thought that was perfect. You brought excitement. And where's your question here? Oh, there it is. Okay. I bought my truck and Land Rover gave me the buyout. You were right. Now back to the biz. Is Gabriel going to produce results? I gave him a 6-week trial. So thank you for confirming. They would give you the buyout. It would benefit them that you do, right? But yeah, Ron, let me see this real quick. People been freaking out for the past 40 years about everything. Go watch freaking old talk shows, talk shows of Sally Jesse, of Phil Donahue, of Oprah. People freaking out then, they're freaking out now, and they're going to continue to freak out. And oh my God, especially if they're tuning into the news, program media, right? The television, right? They're utterly freaking out everything. The news is dictating their happiness, and oh my God, this might happen, this might occur. It's like, okay, take a step back, and you know what I mean? It's like, this shit always happens. It's been happening for 40, 50 fucking years. The same repetitive nonsense. We were talking about immigration back in 1975. We were talking about, immigration back in 1982. We were talking about getting rid of Social Security back in 1985. The same shit. And I'm like, looking back, I'm like, we have not changed at all. As far as what we're talking about, misogyny back in 1980, feminism back in 1980, same things back in 1980, gay rights back in 1980. You know why it hasn't changed? Because they know it works. They know it's hot topics. It's going to get people riled up. Abortion, same thing about abortion back then. Same freaking shit, because they know it's triggering, I would say, ideas and topics that keep people heated and keep people debating about it. And they mix that in with politics, and that means they're controlling you with those ideas. So, but back to Stephanie. Is Gabriel going to produce results? Not as much as you would want him to. I said this before. So, I think it's going to keep him a 6-week trial. I just he's going to be problematic in a sense. And arrogant, not listening. So it'll be a lot of his attitude that's going to be a problem. So keep the 6-week trial perfect. I'm glad you did that. And, I just think there's going to be a personality conflict, more than anything. So, yeah, man, guys, if it's seriously, because I'm always curious about the state of humanity and state of people's intellect and where the psychology is with the collective. Let me go back. What were we talking about back then? What was the issues back then? Oh, same shit. Same thing. Same panic. There's always some sort of end of the world theme, the meteor's coming. Oh, do you remember what it called when 2000 hit? Everything was going to crash because the calendars weren't set for and then nothing crashed. All this panic and hysteria to buy something. But nah. Let's who we have here. Next is Sophia. Sophia, yours is very simple. Self-reflection, do for you, and chill pill. You need a vacation. Take a trip, relax, right? Make sure you're taking time for yourself to unwind, to relax, right? So this is something I think that I do feel vacation's coming, some sort of regenerative something, and if it's not, do it, because I feel like it's time for that now. Truly start taking care of the self. I feel like you've been coming out of something or came out of disconnecting from something that was heavy people wise. I feel like it's time to say, okay, let me put the emphasis back into nurturing myself. I think that when you do this, I think you'll start finding a stable rhythm of doing that for you and justifying why you've allowed certain people to be in the past, justifying why you've maybe disconnected or taken yourself from arm's length of some certain relationships, because you understand I haven't been taking care of myself and I need to. And if I don't, who else is going to, So, so a vacation or trip or something this year you might plan. So I think it's time to this is all about rest, relaxation, recuperation, all that wonderful stuff. So, I have my first thumbs up ever in a year on the show. Or thumbs down, must be someone who's all buried in their politics and doesn't like the what we sing about politics. They got to clutch to their politics, and I got to press the thumb down button because you're destroying my belief of life and death of politics. I got to press that thumb down. I made a point. Oh God, people are just so sickening and petty. It's so funny to me. Oh yeah, people, I tell you, the mindsets of people who think that their opinion matters is hilarical to me. Because to me, opinions are like assholes. We all have them, and most of them stink. So, I bet you that was Iggy. Iggy, I bet you did that, right? Oh my God. I love trolls because people don't understand how good of a troll I really am. So I love to when trolls try to troll me and I go after them, they always end up blocking me. I think it's hilarious. I'll go after them. I don't even read them because they don't even know I'm reading. I'll read them. I'll call shit out and I'll go back and forth with them, and they end up blocking me. And I think it's hilarious. So come on, please troll me. I love the trolls. Bring them on. Come on, right? Because there's not been one troll that has not blocked me and ran away. Not one. Oh, I have so much fun with that. That's I would say that's my dark side. I love kind of whipping people into check like that. It's hilarious to me because of the shit I've been through in my past. I've been there, done that. I've been the trauma I've been through, the stuff I've overcome. People's stupid opinions mean less than nothing to me, so I'd like to play with that. It's not even haters to me, James. It's the fact that people are so bratty about what they believe. It's sad because that means that they're offended by things like God, how they walk around in life, but putting the energy towards something that they don't like is what's hilarious to me. It's that attention to things, right? And so when people do that, it's if you put that energy into something productive, you'd be successful. You probably make the change that you want to make change in your own life, right? And so there's some people I see fighting against it. I'm like, God, put that energy into like doing the pro of what you're talking about. You'd be so effective. All that energy and power. Oh, Jesus. You know, bring so much change to whatever you want, or at least your own happiness, right? So that was Sophia we did. And then we have the last, certain not least, is Rashida. And she had no question, just a card pull. So let's see what the card pull is. These cards are like getting kind of bent out of shape. Little do people know that I can see who does the thumb downs on my end of the spectrum. What I tend to like to do is I like to, with comments or things like that, I like to like actually make a video of it and show people that, like, okay, you want to hide the, well, let's show everybody else your name and your comment. Let's have fun. I'm bad. That's my bad side. I have a dark side. I don't know. I I don't know why I can't. Okay, Rashida. We all have a dark side. That's my dark side. I love calling shit out. I love fucking, putting it on display. I just have fun with that. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've dealt with people who did things in secret all the time, and I was a victim to that. So now that I have the intellect and I understand how to position people like that, I enjoy that, right? So don't judge me for that. It's just me just liking to call out the bullshit. But Rashida, you got the of course with the 7 of Cups and the 2 of Wands, you have creative ideas, and you might be deciphering between two things. It's almost like saying merge everything, combine things. Maybe you're still being too I would say separating on your ideas instead of just like merging it into one unified thing or one expression, right? And allowing the creativity to be unified and not fragmented. That's what they're saying here. So take that imagination, don't just leave it to be imaginative, like bring it down, like turn it into, crystallize it into physical reality and turn it into something tangible, and don't let it be so like separating for yourself, like unify it, that creativity and that expression. So that's what they're saying. Queen of Swords is very like emotionally like decisive, right? So being more emotionally decisive, on guard, and also understand that I'm going to push forward and be very diligent and all those great things too. So, I mean, you have that persona for that too, but unified. Take that creative aspects, really just put it into physical and unify it and crystallize it. Having an imagination is a wonderful thing. You might just have to learn how to navigate the imagination. Say, that's good imagination, but no, not this, but this, but no, not that, but this, right? Just being very, like you're cherry picking, in your imagination. So that would be something to do. What would be here hilarious? Obviously, maybe they accidentally disliked. I thought that too, but I'm just speaking for those who have. And look, it's fine. I mean, it's just funny to me because I don't get that. I'm such a small channel, so when you see that one, it stands out. When my channel grows, like, and you have all these dislikes, it's like I wouldn't be noticing it. But my channel's so small, so I never get dislikes. The few times I do, it's funny. That's all, But when the channel gets bigger, I expect a lot more hate, a lot more dislikes, and that's fine. But only because I'm a small channel and I never get them. And the few times I do, it's just funny to me. That's all. Anyways, what knows? Oh, that's her man. Her men. I swear, and they were showing like him like being this short little guy that like will stand under a woman's dress and like look up and go in her skirt. Like it's just this imagery I got of that dude was so fucking comical. I mean, it's not literally what the person is, but that's the energy that interprets that person. But I know it's. Anyways, that concludes the readings. We'll shut down the live reading. So I'll announce it. Maybe Nina, you can announce it too, that the readings are now done. What do you guys think I should do, like, as far as like different options for readings? I want your guys' opinion on this. Like, should I do something where maybe make live videos less and more accessible or something? Because I do want to do more live videos with y'all. Is it the cost? Is it too much? Is that why you guys don't do it? Or you just don't want to be on camera? Which one is it? Anyone in the room can answer this? because I like seeing you guys face to face. I like having the interaction. I like for others to see the interaction with the work that I do, and also being helped by the interaction. So I want you guys' suggestions. So I keep this format here, or should I do it differently to where it's just like maybe it's video is less expensive and privacy. That's what I was thinking, Rebecca. I think a lot of people just don't want to be on camera and privacy. So versus the cost on that. Okay. Because there are some channels that, yeah, thank you, Linda. I assumed that too. Because there's a lot of, I see other people, they don't care. They'll put their shit on fucking camera, but you guys are obviously more respectable, Oh yeah, but James, you're different. You're different, And I just want to let you know, James, like I saw that I got an email from you. I just haven't got a chance to respond to my email, so I'll get back to you soon, James. Because right before I was setting up for my live, I saw that your email came through. I just saw it in my subject title, but I'll get to you. I haven't opened my emails yet. I was very busy today, but I will get to it. Just want to let you know. Let me see here. Rick says, have one night a month. All you do is live readings, and you don't offer the other alternatives. Have one night a month where you do it. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. And maybe I'll kind of like, because I have like an email list with all my clients for like 12 years. Like I don't really email them about my live shows really, but maybe I should do something of that nature, like promote that, and then I could get like a live show, or maybe I'll do like a group reading thing. I don't know. I want to do something different. And so if you guys have any suggestions, maybe what you want to see in the show and bring onto the show, like tell me, leave in the comments, like not in this chat because I won't see it, but like the comments, like I won't see this chat after the fact. I'll have to like browse topics that you guys wanted to talk about, explore, definitely want to get Iggy back on too again, talk about some things, get him to warm up. A couple of clients I want to get on who are starting their business, their light working business. There's a couple of clients I want to bring on too as guests to get their work expressed. And I want to get people comfortable with being on camera so they can do their shit too. There's a lot of my clients that like I'm helping them build their light working business. And I'm like, come on my show, get comfortable with being like on camera, like get used to this, so they can like break that barrier, and then boom, they can do their light working energy, so. But yes, anywho, let's take a little short break for we have a new sound bath from Lafayette. Chat in the room. I'll be here. But let's hop on that. Just unwind for just a little moment, about 5 or 6 minutes, and it's new, hot off the press. Very hypnotic, right? I love that hypnotic, trancy stuff. So yeah, check it. And that the QR code that's on there when he's playing, like if you scan that, it brings you to where you can actually buy his stuff. So support him. I really, those you don't know, like I met Nina and Lafayette. They first came to me as clients. And I love them so much. And I'm like, don't pay. Like I want to mentor you guys because I love you guys so much. And so I just remember Lafayette, before even doing anything, I just predicted him. I said, you can do sound bathing, and so you do something with music and sound. And then like, he just started doing this, and it's just like, wow. Like, and love his ethereal stuff and atmospheric stuff. It's like, he just has a thing for that. So, I want you guys to help push him more, like support him, and to, get him so he can continue doing that. It's tough. People take for granted the work it gets into with art. And now we have music and all stuff so accessible to us. We forget what goes behind it, and the people that put the energy and all this time to do it. So I'm hoping we go back to a time where artists become revered and not trampled on because of corporate media, but help support him because he's got a true gift. And, I'm definitely want to push him to do more, of course. And I always say, I said in beginning with Nina and Lafayette, I said, I'm going to have you guys working for me, not in a bad way, but be part of a team. I want to help them grow, and they're doing amazing. They're doing fantastic. And so, support them, and appreciate you guys for giving them love too. Right. Cause there's Lafayette, Nina and Lafayette have like, most few people, the few people you meet in life, and there's a lot I meet, but it's always smaller groups of people. They're just the pure soul. You know what I'm saying? That's just a pure, genuine soul expression, pure love, pure authenticity. And so, I can't speak highly enough about them. And I'm so Nina Fayette, yeah. Lafayette, yeah. I can't, I'm just honored to be able to be a part of. They're my family. You guys are Nina. You can Lafayette, my family. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see much more we'll do. Every time you do a reading, Nina, I'm always like seeing you like 10, 50 years down the road. Articulate, wise, tuned in. I mean, you're at now, but I can see you in the future. How much you're gonna just evolve. You and both you and Lafayette. So, I told you I'm going to push the fuck out of you, both of you. So, and I mean it, because I think the world needs more of your energy on a platform. Like Lafayette needs to be on a platform, not where people don't see him. The same thing with you. People need to see that energy, so, we'll get there. I'm getting used to my social media journey. It's been over a year and a half, I think, almost 2 years now, and it's a slow burn. Social media is such a slow burn, especially having a celebrity for many years before this and starting on social media new. It's like, it's humbling, but it's exciting. But I never really want to do social media. I tell you guys all the time, and I'm on it. I'm embracing it, and so now I really want to develop and grow this now. So, it just takes time, but I appreciate all you guys for supporting it, or even just being people that I can actually do my work with, right? And so I'm appreciative of all that. So, but you guys make me very happy. I love you all too. And so and so I do scottcruisepm.com. I do live reading, my own live readings here too, but I also do personal readings, private readings, one-on-one sessions, life readings, which entails so much. It's listed on my website: past life regressions, medical mediumship, right? Career advice, soul advice, all that stuff. Oh yeah, Cast Glow. I forgot about the Cast Glow reading for Cassandra. The group that you're in, it feels overly politicized or political when it shouldn't be. So I think that you can stay with it to gain the experience of it and detach yourself from this political energy that we call office politics, or even the volunteer, politics. But it's not permanent, because if you're going to be in a situation that you're going to deal with those types of personalities and that type of energy. So I would stick with it if you want to gain the experience for such, but leave it if you don't care about the experience of gaining that type of experience of leadership. Okay. That would be my read on that, Cassandra. Hopefully that makes sense to you. But and if you're just going to do it for the experience of being leadership or participating that way, then just block all that other stuff out. be focused with the plan, because I can sense this overly politicized or really defragmented energy to it, right? But it also would benefit you to be able to shut it out and go with your own purpose of what you're trying to do. You know, if you don't have a purpose for that, then I would just exit, you know. All right. Cool. Yeah. Sorry. It came in last, so I didn't refresh the PayPal screen, so I didn't see it came in, and then when I went to like closing out, I refreshed it, and then it came up. So I apologize. That's why I didn't see it. It came in like after the fact. So, but you know, love, you're intuitive too. So, yes, that's what I'm saying. Just do it for the experience. Block out the fragmented bullshit energy. Just say, I'm not there for that. Doesn't matter. I'm closing off. This is for me. It's for me. You know, then you can reap the rewards for yourself, what you need for that moving forward. All right. But yeah, ScottCruisePM.com, and also do mediumship sessions when I connect with someone who's crossed over. That too, intuition builder, to help tap into your own abilities. What is your abilities, right? So I tap into an array of topics. Of course, a one-on-one read, we take time, is a lot different than just these quick reads online. So understand they're more thorough, more in depth. We call them more shit out in the session. So and really provide more, there's time for guidance in a one-on-one session too, and clarity. Because at the end of the day, I want you guys to be intuitive too, because you're intuitive, then you can see what's going on and be in tune to your life. And I don't mean this specifically, but I say that I'm in business to put myself out of business. I don't mean that literally, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't want you to need to come back to me anymore. If you do, it's fine. But I'm saying when you evolve and you have the mastery, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to do. And I said this, been saying this a lot lately, that I mean, remembering when I was 15 years old and I was going through my stuff, I said to myself, I want to be a mentor for people who, in a way that I didn't have, right? And this has nothing to do with my parents. My parents are in my life. They're huge supporters of me. But sometimes you need people outside of mom and dad at certain periods of life to help mentor you, like another male energy or someone younger and around your age, or someone that's slightly young, you know what I'm saying? Someone to look up to in that sense. And so I never had that. And those who try to be my mentors abused me. Right. And so I went through a lot of that kind of disappointment in life. I said, I want to be that true mentor for someone. And I remember seeing this at 15 years old. And I'm like, looking back at 43, I'm like, I'm doing exactly what I said I wanted to do. You know, and I think that didn't dawn on me until like recently. And I was thinking to myself, and, you know, I'm like, I got excited. I was thinking, like, how did I ever get here? You know, and then I'm like thinking back, wait a minute, I've said this when I was 15. Yes, I was focusing on music, and I still am. But very interesting to me that when we look back at things that we say sometimes, and we kind of look at where we're at. And so this is a passion for me. This is something that I feel like I'm giving back for what I was deprived of, right? So that's the transformation. So like, I'm so invested in it. And so I think a lot of my clients know that too for me. Like, I'm invested in their journey. I hate when clients say to me, oh, I'm sorry, I keep asking the same question. I'm like, you're processing. You're going to ask the same question. You have to understand how to get it. It's okay. And if you have to come back for something, it's going to happen. Like, you're going to process. As long as we see some evolvement from it, it's all right. A lot of guys feel bad if you're coming back with the same thing. It's like, you're processing. That's how you learn. That's how you get through things. I'm here to help you master it. You know, so anyways, I've been talking about being heart focused. I've been saying that Aries season is going to bring a lot of that heart focus out. And I've been definitely saying I need to express more of that. I express my heart with my ranting and stuff too, but there's going to be waves of that too. There's going to be ways where I'm going to be very vulnerable and transparent with you all, which I feel like I need to do more of on the social media outlets, which I'm trying to do now. Because it's not just about all the shit I went through. It's about like, what do I feel like on the soft side? You know, and I feel like, you know, Spirit's been telling me, tell your clients how you really feel about your sessions. Tell your clients about what they really feel. And I'm like, okay, you know, I didn't want to feel like I was like glorifying me, but at least you understand where I'm coming from with this and where the passion really comes from, especially when I get heated about things. You know, it's where it's coming from. I had to fight against a lot of people who were not sincere. I had to fight against a lot of people who were trying to take advantage. I mean, that was my whole life growing up for a long period of time. For even well after that, you know, people just taking advantage and or trying to, or, you know, stepping on my toes and just all that diminishing energy. So a lot of you guys know my trauma's not going to specifically go into it, but I want you guys to understand that we evolve and we can, and that's the whole point of it. And it could either define you in a very strong way, or it could actually be a detriment to you. Whatever you're going through, whatever situations that you're experiencing in life. We don't have to overly mystify this stuff. We have to watch and bombard ourselves with all these different wannabe spiritual gurus. This is some new guy I see. It keeps getting recommended to me all the time. Like, why does this guy keep coming up? He's like shirtless with his barefoot on it and just parroting random bullshit. I'm like, and then like, this is this new up and coming guru all of a sudden. Why do they keep showing it to me? I'm not interested. You know, I don't need you to sit there like with your shirt off and like sitting there pretending like you're like this guru. It's like, can we get over this nonsense? You know, and I think people need their hearts to be tugged at. People need their hearts to be reached. I think we're all done with the presentation bullshit. You know, the political bullshit, right? The politically correct nonsense. And I'm not trying to, you know, highlight Trump or any political person for saying that. It's true though. So, and I want you guys to find the same. You know, and like you said, whatever you've been deprived of, say you want to be that for somebody else and for yourself too. And that's where you convert it. All right. To end the tone on a different note, I'm actually going to play my music video again, crazy, because Iggy was chanting the lyrics to that. So I figured, why not just end with the music video for that? So I appreciate you guys. If you didn't catch LOL this morning, catch it on the replay, the restream. And yeah, and I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys all next week and every Thursday, of course. And please remember, you're all, where's the video? Okay. Is that the video? Okay. You're all the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you want to create? Much love. Good night, guys. And here's crazy.
just want to say thank you, Scott, for all of your reassurance and guidance. I had a mediumship reading and you brought my uncle and my mother-in-law forward. And I mean, there was things that you said that nobody would know. Like, it was so accurate. It was insane. And I appreciate the closure that I got and the peace that I felt. And I really appreciate even more that you are a genuine person who truly cares. That made the biggest difference for me. Thank you, Scott.
Hey, I just wanted to take a minute to thank Scott Cruz. He made such a huge difference in my grief. I'm a little bit emotional because he just said things about my husband and my papa that there's no way anybody could have known or guessed. I know my children were skeptical. Scott told me they would visit me, and they both are together, and they have both visited me together. He told me things about my grandchildren, nicknames. There's nothing he could have known beforehand. So I definitely appreciate him, and if you're having any issues, struggling through grief, and needing some guidance or just needing to feel okay, talk to Scott.
Hey there, my name is Chad, and over the past 6 or 7 years, I've probably had about 4 or 5 readings with Scott Cruz. He brought up personal things that I don't know how nobody else would know but me, and he brought them up, which was just incredible. And one thing I will say is Scott tends to talk fast, so take notes. I've taken notes since the very beginning because sometimes they don't make sense. He'd said something, it didn't make sense to me. And then a year and a half later, after I had spoken to someone and I reread those notes, I was like, oh wow, Scott nailed it back then. Didn't make sense then, but it made sense as time passed. I was able to find something out. It was just incredible. And the last thing is what I like about Scott is he doesn't seek out fame or fortune from this. He genuinely wants to help people. I thoroughly recommend an appointment with Scott. Go ahead and book it. You won't be disappointed.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit, bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruzpm.com to book your own personal session today.